the Kadamba Geshes, even they see one syllable in the garbage, in the road, in the garbage, then they pick like na. So they see one syllable there, they pick up, put in the head, and by generally faith the Dharma, then they put high clean place. Like that, you see, even they see one syllable. So, so maybe it's not complete subject, but some part, a few words, and some part. However, it shows the path to liberation, path to enlightenment. For you see, so respect. It's a path to be free from samsara, to be free from self-obscuration, so you respect. Actual Dharma, you respect. So you don't go over, like that. Don't go over, So like that, you see. The prayer book, although many of our centers, even the FPMT centers, because not everybody always hear the refuge, even though it's very beginning practice, should understand, should have understanding. Very beginning practice, but everybody don't get explanation. They don't read the Dharma books, as the Lamrim, this important one. They don't read or something. Those beginning practice basis of collecting unbelievable merits, most unbelievable merits. Like the dust of this earth or mountains or merits and purification. So those, you see, it is by Cheng Rinpoche, there's a general advice you do, and that's you collect most by doing that practice, unbelievable merits and purification. Then those particular ones you abandon what you practice. So many centers I saw, the SPC, the SPC, there's a director and there's the SPC, director doesn't, SPC that setting up the gomba, chairs, or cushions and books, prayer books. Then they put it on the chair or cushion without anything underneath, without no table, nothing, or just not even a cloth underneath, something with respect. Just bare, just put the prayer book or the inner pamphlet or just there like this. Very kind, but you see, very kind doing that. But you see, shows ignorance, doesn't know what becomes negative karma, what becomes negative karma, what becomes good karma, doesn't know that. So, so totally was no idea. So books put like that. So bad, so no respect. Then you see some people outside come who knows about Lamrim, who knows about those basic practices. Then they would think this center doesn't know anything about Lamrim. They would think doesn't know anything of Dharma, the even basic practice. They don't know. Instead of very high philosophy, blah 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 blah, but the basic practice they don't know. They think. For example, Lama Tsongkhapa one time Kandala came, wasn't invited by the center, but the Kandura was brought by the monk attendant of Geshe Topten. Geshe Topten was the first resident teacher who taught Lama Tsongkhapa 3 years with Chabutara. Man, at Baksa, who knew, who was learned in Dharma philosophy, is one of the Lama is his friend who was expert in Dharma. So Baksa, he was requested and he taught 3 years at Lama Tsongkhapa resident teacher, and so his attendant brought Kandula there to show to the center. And there was Jeris Gomba where the luminaries. And that time there was a statue of Buddha put on the ground. There was nothing put on outside, put on the ground. So Kandula could not say anything, but she cried. Just right there, she cried on. Was seeing what happened. The Buddha was put on the ground, dirty ground. And there was nothing. She couldn't say because I wasn't invited by the center, with Geshe-la's then brought that Geshe Topten. So then later, second time, the center invited, and the Kandula came. Kandula came, and then the Kandula had talked with the director. Director was a businessman, not old in Dharma, no. The new, he was studying basic program, yeah, of course. So, but I think he didn't know those basic practices, and then, so he had talked with the Kandula, and then he told Kandula, that was only for a short time. Buddha the Great was supposed to go inside the temple, but that was for a short time. There was no such a thing. Short time you can put in the ground. There's no such permission. Short time is okay. So the Kandula taught center, because the center started Geshe-Majazo. That time Geshe-Majazo, that time Geshe-Majazo was there, but Geshe-Majazo was far. He saw her, but did not welcome or did not talk to her. Just because different view, and so she told me the center there's no refuge. That's what she thought. Center, that is not the refuge, even though started basic or mass program, but that is no refuge. She thought that center does not refuge practice. So I told you that before. So that many times I saw the what you call it, assistant spiritual what? It's easy. What? FTC. Yeah. I saw the spiritual coordinator, I think, lifting prayer on the seat without anything. No table, even there's no cloth. That's so I think it means he or she did very good job setting up, but it shows big ignorance. Oh, that's no respect to the holy object. So even the scarf, so that's why the scarf has Tibetan writing on the edge, Tibetan writing. You see, even generally it doesn't matter the subject. Even subject is the kaka, kaka. What's the other word? I forgot. Poo kaka. Doesn't matter the subject, but as long as the Tibetan writing, you have to respect it, the holy Dharma. So it doesn't say kaka, but I'm just using example. So I think you have to respect. You can't live in the floor or something. You can't sit on top of that. Or I didn't like Kata put under the seat because it's the same text, Dharma, same Dharma text. The Tibetan letters are exactly the same as Dharma text. So usually I don't put to under the seat, under the dingwa or something. Then what happens is it's a holy object. So if you disrespect like that, put in dirty ground on your bed or on the floor or something, so disrespect, that damages your mind, obscures your mind. Then Dharma becomes very far, not close to your mind. When you listen Dharma, or when you read Dharma, very far for your mind to understand. Can't grab the words, Dharma words, so far and difficult to can't grab the words. Difficult to understand. Then kind of whenever you do prayer, whenever you hear teaching, you fall asleep. You see, like that, some people. You see, even before it's easy to understand. Now the mind becomes more difficult. The very part difficult to grab. Then kind of very obscure mind. They kind of become kind of easy to fall asleep. So like that, you see, when you listen to teachings, when you read, when you do prayer, all that. So then during the talk, during the passing talk, this is the prayer books. The people go over the prayer books like that. The long leg go over the prayer book like this. The long leg go over the prayer. So shouldn't do like that. Should not respect. Have respect. You move the prayer book. You move the prayer book. The people who are sitting there, even if he was carrying thoughts, you must move the prayer book. Let him to go there. You see like that. The person, then you see, then damage your mind. Then become very thick skull. Difficult Dharma, if you listen Lamrim, anything you listen doesn't go, it doesn't subdue your mind, become thick skull. Like that. I know this, I heard this before. Like that. You see, nothing goes, nothing absorbs inside. All that. See. So, if you want Dharma to subdue your mind, benefit your mind to get realized. You want, if you are aimed to get realization, subdue your mind, get realization, to get achieve enlightenment, you must respect because by saying Dharma Sangha, I'm not going to talk to them, but saying Dharma Sangha, that Gabalapcha, their advice to what to abandon. So Dharma, to saying Dharma, abandon harmless sentiment. You have to understand. Oh, that's so abandon harmless sentiment. Wow. See, wow, you have to know that. It's by saying Dharma, no harm. Then develop that. What's your purpose of practice? So they say, there are many books. Lot of missing pages. Missing pages like this. You collect respectively in envelope or somewhere. You collect. Like that, there's too many. Then, in Sulukumbusu, we have a Sulukumbusu, of course, very primitive place, but we have caves where the protection from rain. We have large big caves, protection from rain. So there's this kind of size, smaller than this square, like the throne of the stupa. Like that, kind of, built small. Then all the missing pages, all the scriptures you don't throw away. You don't throw in garbage. No, that's heavy, very heavy. So people bring and you collect in that. There's no rain because cave. So you build something like this, sort of like a throne of the stupa. And then you put it inside. I have seen like that in Sulukumbu. Even those primitive places like this, respectful of the. And they said, caves or some out, if you don't have, outside to some places like that, you can put it there. If you have a pint, and then like that, you see. Then I did missing mantras or missing pages or something. Also, I put big bundles. I put around the tree. So I put tape around nearby the aptras after the trees. I put around the tree. Then you put tapes around, so like that, so in that way, not disrespect, but respect, don't throw garbage, so opposite that. So the last thing is then burn. Who is the head of the Nyingma, he said, burning text, Dharma text, burning Dharma text is the avoiding of Dharma. He said that. But I think that, my view, not just burning, but if you renounce the object of devotion, object of respect, you can give up to respect. If you give up the Dharma text, the letters. If you give up instead of respect, no respect, and give up, no faith, and no devotion, and you see, give up. Then about the Dharma, but just burning alone is not abandon the Dharma. So, if you're going to burn, the last thing is because it was keep sorting, all the letters become that absorb your heart. then think that it's just empty paper. Then you burn. While you're burning, you recite Heart Sutra. It's emptiness. Of course, to recite words, Heart Sutra words, but meditation emptiness. So mental and all of that, like that. If the last thing is to burn, so you don't burn Dharma. So to save yourself and others, creating very heavy negative karma, to achieve realization, to achieve enlightenment, to be free of samsara. So Katsuri, to learn Dharma, heaviest obstacle to learn Dharma, then protect you and others, protect from negative karma. So disrespect to Dharma, so that. So now the English. So now the English is everywhere in the shoes. English is everywhere in the shoes, on the roads, everywhere. You see, not all the time, but when there's an English letter at the door, so you have to step over. So where you have to go straight on the letter, then I try to visualize going underneath. You go underneath, still you respect. So you go under the letter. So in case Dharma takes, you have to walk over. Then you see what you do is you visualize you are going underneath. So still there's respect to Dharma. There's mantra to recite. So you recite that mantra. I don't remember now. Many people would. You would know. Do you know the mantra? Huh? What? I don't remember now. So there's a mantra to recite. For example, you see, there's stupa. So there's a stupa of prayer flags. Shadow is there. So you have to go over that. There's no other way to go. So you visualize you're going underneath the stupa as a holy object. Or Guru's shadows. Guru's shadow, you have to go over, there's no other way to go. Then like that, or so one time His Holiness, we invite every year, for many years, invite His Holiness in Delhi to Vishita to give teachings. So just recent times I didn't get to attend, but in the past many times I received His Holiness, and so we're going in the building, see, through the steps. So I was trying to not step over His Holiness shadow. So then looked like I was doing some strange things. His Holiness thought, "Oh, what are you doing?" So anyway, shadow of stupa, like that, you just go down like this. Prayer flag, which has which has a mantras, which has prayer printed, you see, there, then the shadow is the holy shadow of that. So you don't go over that, not just the flag cloth, but it's a mantra carved on there. And so the Om Bezabeka Atmahu. Om Bezabeka Atmahu. I think that's mantra. Om Bezabeka Atmahu. But if you check it, so you think you're going underneath, and then recite Om Bezabeka Atmahu. So, and then you don't get the nirkama. So there, also Sangha, by taking refuges, Sangha, what one should practice, then what you have to advise, what you should renounce, a couple have to do after. So there, you see that this is all. Anyway, it happened the side of the talk, and also, so, I kept telling Rinpoche mentioned, and he gave maybe amateur initiation, I'm not sure, something the Darjeeling, Gum, the new monastery. He was there for 6 months. The two aspects that paralysis, this on the hand, so the highest doctor, most educated doctor, Dr. Bamba, so he was coming up to Rinpoche has to play this egg, like the size of egg, this white thing, light one, so you have to massage. So we were playing nighttime, not nighttime, sorry, evening time. So I go there sometime for dinner, and evening dinner. I see then there's one young boy, Doji, one young boy sitting on the floor. Then I throw this to Rinpoche. Rinpoche threw him, then he threw me. So we played this. This is a very light, what do you call it? Ping bang, ping bang. Ping pong. So I would throw, they do hit on the Rinpoche's head. Because Rinpoche, they did not have it's their skin, very bright, very shiny. So I throw ting. Then we laugh. And I think it hit 2 or 3 times. I think. So anyway, what I was going to say. So anyway, Rinpoche, during the initiation, said monks, not necessarily monks, but told in the teaching that people shouldn't use newspaper in bath and toilet. Shouldn't carry it in toilet because they don't have a custom to buy tissue paper. Tissue paper. Don't have a custom to buy tissue paper for the toilet. You see, do not have the custom. Do not have that custom. So then what is it? The monks they carry monks of the some carry newspaper to clean the caca. So Rinpoche advised to not use newspaper to clean the toilet room, and then also table to clean the table. Newspaper to clean the table. I can't use with respect, as Rinpoche said. So, as you see, as much as possible, what certain things like that, try to sort of respect yourself, or you think, going into it or some, try to not walk over just things what you can, or like that. So I hope when Tibet gets independence in Tibet, I hope they don't use Tibetan letters. They already have on the market the Tibetan letter, made in not Tibet, for India. But I hope they don't use Tibetan letter on the road, like the English use everywhere, on the cloth, because people who don't know Lamrim, who don't know basic Dharma, these holy objects have to respect. So doesn't know, then they know the Western culture system, and so they use the Tibetan letter for, like English for anything, for shoes, for anything. So I hope they don't do like that when Tibet gets independence. So otherwise it makes you create negative karma for so many people. So it's not good. Okay. Okay, we have to finish prayer. You see, in the West, how long Dharma can last? How long Dharma can last? Then I cannot say every person. Of course, there are people who have realizations, renunciation, Buddhist to correct following what is friend, maybe also Tantra. I'm sure there are people, but the majority, because the life, how you live your life in the West, everything's so expensive. There's no cheap way of living life. Like Nepal, India, you can live how you like. You can live in cheap life in the caves, or you can live life in a cheap way. You see, but here in the situation, you see, what's allowed, not allowed. So the lifestyle itself is so expensive. The lifestyle is so expensive. So no choice, you have to work hard day and night, like that. So it doesn't give much time to meditate. Some people who have money, some people do, but not majority people. So Dharma is a superficial. Dharma is like you throw a tamba on the water, it doesn't go inside. It just stays on the water. It's like that. Dharma doesn't go inside. In the heart and deep bed. Well, it's kind of superficial. Mostly superficial. You see, to last Dharma a long time in the West, like Tibet, Nepal, India, you see, those practitioners, like Milarepa, those practitioners, which bear so much hardship, in the house or in the cave, whatever, bear so much hardships. Years, practice, meditate, practice. Oh, you need like that. Yeah, then you achieve realization. Even that is not only what you like, what is it? No renunciation, no suffering, no suffering. oh, Bodhicitta, awesome, nice, oh, nice words, nice. Doesn't work like that. You don't get real. You don't get even the late foundation, Guru devotion, the Singh and the renunciation Buddha's right. You don't get the late foundation. You have to renunciation this life, renunciation next life, samsara. Then you can Buddha to the realization. But emptiness, if you have a good imprint from past, or the read so much teachings on emptiness, or mental so much, or whatever, then easy to, if there's so much imprint left in mind, then easy to realize emptiness, not difficult. The conjuring we just said like this. Or those who has difficulties to realize them is those who didn't leave much imprint in the good imprint in the mind in the past lives. So it's very difficult to realize them things. Otherwise, who has much left imprint, indeed, not difficult to realize them. So, you see, in Nepal, there's so many meditators happen in Nepal, lay and ordained. So many happened in India in the past time. Those Pandit yogis, Trijan Narupa, Telupa, some Edimasitas, all those that really bear so much hardships, the practice. Oh, then you have realization. But you have to do correctly, on the basis of correctly following virtuous friend. Correctly. That's our children play. Become my children play, then how can you have realization? No way. So it's all everything depends on the first one. Correctly following virtuous friend. So if this doesn't happen like Tibet and Nepal, it doesn't happen, then Buddhism will last a long time in the West. Some may occur that Bodhisattvas, yes. But you see, but like in India, Nepal, Tibet, like this, the years are really, correctly, following Bodhisattva. Unbelievable strong. Then faith, you see, whatever happens, you see what the action aspect. Your devotion, like that, stable. Seeing numberless past, present, future Buddha, every single action of Buddha's action. And then you're going to have a realization. Like that, others you practice just children, cannot, you recite words and then the Buddhism, so difficult to last a long time. You see, so superficial, then. So like India and Nepal, like that, it happened. Then Buddhism can be well established with realization, with experience, realization, you see? Sorry, my speech went. The text, all like that, you see? The Kandala says, Buddhism spread much, yes, but now, generally talking, superficial. So, anyway, so like Nepal, Tibet, like that. Whoa! You see, millions like that, be hardship. Wow! There are different caves over here, different realization. Wow! The tantra. You see, so many other great yogis, ordained lay, all like that. So you need like that. Who totally dedicate your life, totally give up your life, totally you live life in Dharma, practice. Just like that. But of course, we're talking about how long Buddha Dharma lasted, how deep, how long lasted. But I mean, there happened so much in India, Nepal, Tibet. But of course, as time goes, it depends on the leader of the country, depends on the leader of the country. So in India, at the end, there was designation of Buddhism in Tibet, in India. Then, as it designated, then it blossomed in Tibet. You see like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so... yeah. Okay. 그다. We finish. Okay.